is genuinely the prettiest bookstore I have ever been in. The road has really outdone themselves. It is currently the night before we fly out to New York City. At the moment we're just in an airport hotel just because our flight's really early in the morning and I live around 2 hours away from the airport, so we just thought it was best to stay overnight in the city. We have been planning this trip for over 12 months at this point, so the fact that it's tomorrow, like tomorrow morning we're flying to New York, is genuinely insane. But I will kick off the New York vlog now. Tomorrow we've got a huge travel day ahead of us, which I will film a separate travel vlog, so if you want to see that, it's probably already live, so I'll link it below. But I thought I would film the intro now. I am so excited, like such a bucket list trip for me, and so the fact that we're going tomorrow is so exciting. I think our plan for the first day is just to walk around Central Park because we don't know if we're going to be jet lagged, the weather looks good, and so I think we're going to have no set plans other than just to walk around Central Park. I'm going to try and get some sleep now because we're waking up around 4 a.m. I think, but the next time you see me, I will be in New York City.
No, I definitely would be. Yeah.
Hey, that looks like a cafe.
Yeah.
Is it open?
Oh, look at that.
Yesterday morning, I woke up in New York City. Does that sound real to anyone? Not me. Anyway, yesterday we pretty much just walked around Central Park all day, and last night we went to Wicked. It was one of the coolest experiences of my entire life. I just love Wicked and the story so much, and so seeing it live on Broadway was baffling. Like a bucket list, high bucket list moment. Broadway musicals always been on my bucket list, but to see Wicked was just sort of a full circle moment. We have just come down to Brooklyn for the day. The hit list for today is walking along, I think it's called the Promenade, or just like the Brooklyn waterfront, seeing the Brooklyn Bridge. And then I'm going to the Ripped Bodice, which I am so excited for. And then we're going to some Brooklyn Nine-Nine places because my family's obsessed with Brooklyn Nine-Nine. And then I think we're getting the ferry over to Staten Island. Pretty sure that's the agenda for the day. But it's perfect weather and I'm just excited to sort of be out and about and to be in a little bit of a quieter area than Times Square. Like I do really love it and I love the vibe and the hustle, but it's just nice to sort of get some peace and quiet and explore for the day without feeling super stressed and claustrophobic. This is genuinely the prettiest bookstore I have ever been in. now and we are back at the hotel to sort of reset and get ready for the night. My sister and I are going to Tate McRae tonight at Madison Square Garden, which, what the heck? I feel like, what the actual heck? I feel like because normally if you were at home and you went on a holiday and you were going to a concert, you would be looking forward to it, excited for it because you're just working every day and you're going to a concert. However, because we're traveling and we have so many exciting things booked, it sort of just kept slipping my mind that I got these tickets for us and that we're going to Tate McRae. I'm just about to get ready now, so I figured we could do a bit of a chat and a catch up because it has been so fast paced and so hectic that I feel like I haven't really had a chance to even talk to the camera. Yesterday we went on a sort of guided tour around the outer boroughs of New York, so not really Manhattan, but sort of Brooklyn, Harlem, Bronx. It was very much so you just get off for 10-15 minutes here and there and you see a lot, but you don't really do a lot. You're on a bus, which was something my family wanted to do, so we did that. It wasn't necessarily very exciting, but it was a good way to see a bunch of sights and learn some history and kind of just have a chill day sitting in a bus. However, one very exciting thing that I did yesterday was go to Sephora, because if you are like me and you live in Australia, there is one specific thing that Sephora now sells that you cannot get in Australia, and that is none other than Rhode. It was one of the biggest things on my shopping list was to go to Sephora and get things from Rhode. I got the classic glazing milk and then the Teddy blush. If I do really like them, I might go get more to take home, but I wanted to use them a bit first. But everyone says they're great, but I wanted to see if I liked using them, how they felt on my skin. This morning I used this as a primer and then did my makeup. But now I'm going to do the thing that people do. I have no idea how it's going to work, where they mix it into their foundation. It's not really, it's kind of splitting. Maybe it's not good for my specific foundation. It makes me a little bit nervous. Oh, I don't know. We'll see how we go. If it's really bad, I'll just wipe it off, I guess, but I don't know. I haven't actually really properly watched any videos of anyone doing this. I could have done that completely wrong, but let's just see what it looks like. It definitely makes it blend very easily. I'm concerned how long this may last, or if it's maybe more of a daytime look than a nighttime look to use it. I don't know if it's going to be the best for a concert, but we've committed. I'll get into my actual thoughts and feelings about the ripped bodice in a second. However, I had the strangest, most stressful story time. So we show up, my dad and I got the bus there because it's maybe a 20-minute bus from where we were in the waterfront, and so my dad, God bless his soul, got on the bus with me and came to this romance-only bookstore. He sort of then just walked around the streets, but we get to the bookstore and there's a sign on the front that says closed for an event. The way my heart sunk, I was like, I've come all the way from Australia. There was no one in the store. So I was like, what do you mean is it closed, is not open, is for an event? Like, my dad and I start stressing. We were there at maybe 10:02 and they open at 10. So like, well, maybe they just haven't opened yet. Maybe that sign's from another time. Like, what are we gonna do? I was ready to beg and say, I'm from Australia. I came all the way here. I really want to go to this bookstore. Please just let me look for 5 minutes before your event. Like, I was so stressed. And then the girl just opens the door and is like, good morning. Like, a welcome in kind of situation. And I was like, oh, you're open? I was like, yeah, I just didn't take down the sign from yesterday. And I was like, oh my God. You're kidding me. I was so stressed, so stressed. But anyway, besides that 30 seconds of the anxiety that I was feeling that we weren't going to be able to go in, I had a really good time. So I think if you're a bookish girly, you probably know what the Ripped Bodice is. But if you don't, it's this romance-only bookstore in Brooklyn, and it's very aesthetic and it has all these bookish romance merch. Definitely a hit list if you're coming to New York. I think there's possibly one in LA as well. But anyway, it was like very high on my list of things I wanted to do. I had the best time. I just walked around and sort of looked at everything, took a bunch of photos and videos. It was so cute. I would go back there. Like, if I lived here, I would be going there all the time. There was definitely a lot of locals that sort of came in and out. I was there for at least 45 minutes because I just couldn't stop looking around. Like, I was having the best time. I was just walking around. Obviously, because I'm going back to Australia, I'm kind of limited for the amount of books that I can buy. However, I'm still gonna buy a bunch and figure it out and just kind of hope they fit in my suitcase. We'll see how we go. I think I bought 4 books today. So I had 3 books that were on my hit list for just like the whole time that I'm here. So not necessarily had to be from this bookstore, but I was there and it's a small bookstore, and yes, I'm gonna go to Barnes & Noble and some other bookstores. I don't really care where I buy the books from. I just wanted to buy some from here. So anyway, the top book that I was definitely gonna buy, I was not going home without, is the US paperback version of Funny Story by Emily Henry. Okay, I have all of the other Emily Henry paperbacks, US editions at home. I think it came out in paperback maybe 6 months ago, maybe more. The rest of them I'd already ordered, like, I don't know where I ordered them from, maybe Booktopia or Amazon, I don't know. Ordered those a while ago. But when this one came out, I knew I was coming to America, so I thought I'll just buy it while I'm over there instead of paying for sort of excessive shipping. So that was a book that was sort of top top priority I was definitely going home with. And then my friend Charlotte also doesn't have the US version of Happy Place, and that's her favorite Emily Henry book. So we kind of talked about me getting it for her, and she was like, only if you have space. I'm like, I'm obviously going to get that for you because it's our joint favorite Emily Henry book, and I'm over here, I may as well. So I got that for her as well. And I thought, I don't know, I just thought it was nice to get it from the romance bookstore. Like I could have got it from Barnes & Noble, but I just thought it was nice to get it from there. And then the other 2 books I got, one was on my hit list and one wasn't, but it was in the signed author section, and so I sort of just wanted to get it. So the 3rd book I got, called? I don't even know what it's called, but it's like 3 Summer Storms or These Summer Storms, something like that. I'll put a photo of it here. I'd seen so many things about it when it came out. The US cover is 10 times prettier than sort of UK Australian cover, and so I thought, oh, you know what, that's probably one I also want to buy. Well, this is only the 2nd time that I've used this blush, and so I'm still learning how pigmented it is. I got the Teddy, Toast of Teddy or something, but I think that's like one of the more popular colors, but I'm still learning how pigmented it is because I feel like some blushes are a lot more pigmented and some are not. So I feel like this one sort of is relatively pigmented. Yeah, when it came out, I saw a lot of people posting about it, like my friends Taylor and Destiny. They were just posting a lot about it and said how good it was, but the UK cover was just kind of ugly. And a US cover, stunning. So I knew that was on my radar, and I wouldn't have necessarily felt the need to buy that from the romance bookstore. However, it was in the signed author section. So I thought, oh, if you're gonna buy it, and it was the hardcover, which I don't know if people in America know this, but we don't really do hardcovers in Australia. So the same way that a hardcover comes out and then a paperback comes out, Australia get a tall paperback and then a short paperback. Makes no sense. It's pretty much just like a marketing scheme of what it feels like, because then you buy the big one, and then when the short one comes out, you buy the short one. And anyway, so I decided to buy it. How I'm gonna fit a big hardcover in my suitcase, don't ask. I'm gonna wing it, and if not, then I'm gonna put it in my dad's suitcase. The final book I got was not on my hit list. Those first 3 books were the 3 that were on my hit list. However, I've been seeing a lot about a book called Heartbreak Hotel. I don't know who the author is. I'll pop it up here as well. And that was in the signed author section, so I sort of just decided in the moment to buy it. The New York part of our trip, so we're spending roughly 1 week in New York and then roughly 1 week in Boston. The New York part of the trip is so much more jam-packed, so I feel like I haven't even really had a chance to read, vlog, and talk to the camera. Like everything I've been just doing is go activities. However, tomorrow I am doing, I know I keep saying this is the most exciting thing, but I mean it every time I say it. But tomorrow I'm going to Barnes & Noble for the first time. I've seen the outside of some of the buildings, but tomorrow I have genuinely a whole dedicated day for me to just go to Barnes & Noble. I keep saying it, but that was probably the thing highest on my tick list. Like if I'm going to America, I'm going to a Barnes & Noble, I'm going to burn the house down. So I am quite excited. I'm going to the Union Square one, which is sort of the old historic building and many levels. So I'm pretty much just going to spend the whole day there. I'm obviously going to browse, but I can't do that much book shopping, so I'm probably just going to find a couch and read, take my laptop, maybe do some editing, and just sort of hang out and spend the whole day there. So that is something I'm obviously really looking forward to doing. If you live in Australia, you will also understand that Barnes & Noble is just one of those things that Australian book girlies wish they had. We've got Dymocks, which is the closest thing to a Barnes & Noble. We have a Dymocks in Sydney City that is sort of 3 levels high, but even then, like the romance section's maybe 4 shelves. It's not the biggest and best thing in the world for the book girlies. It is very cool to go to, but I also don't live in the city, so it'll take me like 2 hours to visit. So I don't even have a Dymocks in my local area. We just have a QBD. I think that every Australian book girlie's dream is to go to Barnes & Noble. So tomorrow I'm going to be finally living that out, and I'm so excited. I really wish my friend Charlotte could have been here for that. Like going without her is going to be a little sad, but I'm really just going to have the best day by myself. Like solo time, and take my headphones as well, so I'm walking around. Maybe I'll listen to an audiobook or music. Sky's the limit. I'm just going to go chill now for a bit before we head out for Tate McRae. I don't know how many clips I'll take in the concert. I'll insert some clips from the concert, but you can't really include too much because of sort of copyright audio. But I'll at least have my phone, so I'll film a few things, and then I will see you guys tomorrow at Barnes & Noble.
I just wanted to say thank you so much for spending your Saturday night with me. Writing has always kind of been my way of talking and my way of figuring out what the fuck is going on in my life. And I felt this year, turning 22, I was really thinking about time a lot and how time just moves quicker and quicker as you get older. It's a really freaky feeling.
Good morning from Barnes & Noble. Unfortunately, right this second, I am extremely depleted of energy. I was probably up till 2 a.m. last night, just being so wired from the concert. So I've started my Barnes & Noble day just at a cafe so that I can actually sort of have some time to reset. I got a pink drink because I don't think we have them in Australia, but it's one of those things that I see Americans talk about all the time. I also don't have a Starbucks near me. I don't drink coffee. I don't normally get Starbucks, but I hate everything about pink drinks. So I got one, and then I just got a cream cheese bagel as well. I'm just going to sit here and rest and relax for a bit, try and recoup and gain a little bit of energy so I can be excited about browsing. Currently 10:30, and I've got until maybe 4 o'clock here in the Barnes & Noble. My family have gone to do a variety of activities today that did not interest me. A lot of sort of historical stuff that's just not really up my alley. So it was the perfect day for me to just come here. I wanted to come on my own because I just didn't want the pressure of someone waiting for me. Like, I wanted just unlimited amount of time. So we're here for 6 hours, and I'm just going to eat this and try and come to life a little bit, and then I'll head around and walk around. But right now I don't really have the energy for that.
I just did my proper skincare. I've never felt glowier in my entire life. So I used the glazing milk, and then I used the barrier butter, I think it's called. I'll link them both below, but oh my gosh, I've never felt glowier. I have already gone back to Sephora and bought some extra glazing milk, but now I think I need to go back and get more barrier butter because I've never felt glowier and more clean. That is not why I turned on the camera, but I just saw myself glowing in the reflection and thought, wow, Rode has really outdone themselves. The reason that I turned on my camera is because I wanted to show you something I decided to on this trip that I've never done before, and that was bring my travel scrapbook with me. So my friend Hallie got me this notebook before I left, and I started scrapbooking in it the other night, so I'll include some clips of that here. The reason I decided I wanted to bring it with me instead of doing it when I got home is that I feel like when I get home I just lose stamina and I never actually fully complete it, and it just sits there. And sometimes you collect things along the way and then you lose them, and I knew I wasn't going to be able to bring all of my scrapbooking supplies with me, so there are parts of the scrapbook that are going to be empty that I know I'll fill in with different washi tapes or markers
markers or things when I get home, but I just want to do the bulk of it. And honestly, I really just do love the activity. And if I didn't feel like reading, I wanted another hobby that wasn't just scrolling on my phone. I might update a little bit of it now. The supplies I brought with me are 2 photo printers. So I have a Polaroid printer and I have just a normal sticker photo printer. I bought some New York stickers that I had accrued. I brought a couple of washi tapes. I brought double-sided tape to stick in anything I decided to keep. I think that's really all I brought. So the first one that I made the other night, which is nowhere near done, looks kind of like this. So I'm going for that autumn, fall, I guess you'd call it, look. Browns, the vintage photos and stickers and stuff like that. Obviously there's lots of empty space on there because I just had nothing else with me at the time that I wanted to add to that page. The second page I'm making is more of a pink page, which I'm currently not loving it because of the random stickers. So I don't know whether I need to fill it more. I don't know. But essentially, this is the who's in the cast for the Wicked Broadway show I went and saw. And so I put that as the background. I put some tissue paper that I had from just an order that I brought with me, and then some Polaroids and things like that. So that's more of a pink page. Some extra things I've been picking up along the way that I want to add. I have this yellow sticker, and it's the sticker we got when we went to the Rockefeller Ice Rink Center. I feel like that could go on the first page with this sort of like orangey yellow look. Yeah, that's cute. Yep, I think that looks cute. Some other things that I sort of look for are, stickers, receipts. If you go to any shows, like the playbooks and stuff like that, and I honestly end up just cutting it up. When I went to the Strand, I got a Strand sticker. I do have this Tate McRae bookmark that I got from Books with Jess that I do want to use for a little bit, but then I do want to put it in the scrapbook with photos from Tate McRae. And I feel like the Strand maybe, that vibe, like a red vintage photo booth vibe, will be really cute for a page. Another cute thing I like to accrue that is also free is tags from purchases. This is one from a Barnes & Noble bag I bought, and then I've got some from the Strand as well. They're just another free way to accrue something that looks quite cute for that sort of junk journal vibe. I've been looking for the perfect postcards the entire time I've been in New York. It's the one thing that I love to collect every city I go to, and none of them were cute. They were all these tacky, I don't know, I just didn't like any of them. And then I found one I liked and I bought 3 of them. Now, is that drastic? Yes. However, I loved it. I wanted one for myself, one for my boyfriend, and one for my boyfriend's sister as a part of a present because she likes that stuff too. So anyway, so I bought 3 of the same. It has this sort of, I don't know, can you see the edge of that? Like a bumpy edge. And then it looks kind of like a stamp, I guess. Was this necessary? No, but I liked it. It was our last day in New York, and I thought if you don't buy them all, you're going to be mad that you didn't. So I bought them all. We then went to the Empire State Building, and I came across wall postcards that I liked, which was great but annoying. I'm like, if I had found these earlier, I would have bought 3 of these ones. Anyway, these are the 2 that I got at the Empire State Building. I think I might use these more so in my scrapbook because they're just a bit of that smaller size instead of putting one that's like a whole entire page. I've got to pack up my suitcase because we're leaving tomorrow. I sort of unpacked everything because we really have no room. This is our hotel room. I don't think I've ever shown it because it's really not that exciting. It is small, but it's perfect location and it's affordable for the 4 of us. All of my stuff is all over my bed at the moment. Everyone's out for dinner, but I just was feeling run down and wanted to stay in the hotel. So I'm honestly just feeling so much better for it because we go to Boston tomorrow, and tomorrow night we have our first NBA game that we're going to. And so I just want to be feeling better for that because that is priority to me. So tonight, they're going to watch an NBA game at a sports bar, which whilst that does sound fun, I just didn't have it in me and would prefer to be good for the actual NBA game. So agenda for the rest of the night is to finish packing up my suitcase, dry my hair, maybe I'll scrapbook a little, see how we go. Despite feeling a bit under the weather, I have had the most amazing week in New York. We've hit some really bucket list things that I probably never thought I was going to be able to achieve and see and witness. And so I'm just feeling very grateful. I'm having the best time, and I'm trying to be mindful and sort of mind over matter with the sickness and try to power through instead of feeling a bit crappy. Just remember the amazing week I've had. We've done so many things. I would say my favorite things were definitely Wicked and Tate McRae. Like seeing those live performances was life-changing for me. I absolutely just love every live performance I ever go to, but those were just something so special to me specifically. Obviously then also going to the Union Square Barnes & Noble, that is this old historic building and 5 different levels, was a absolute dream come true. We just have nothing like that in Australia, and as a book girly and a reader, it's just something that's on every reader's bucket list, and I feel eternally grateful that I was able to spend a whole day there. Thank you so much for watching. I have had the most amazing week, and I will see you in Boston.